Wow.
What it do, baby? Yes, sir.
The people's champ. What's up, bro?
What's going down, man?
Not much, man. I'm glad that you could jump on here and share your time with us.
Yes, sir. Happy to be on here with you, big bro.
Absolutely. Where you at right now? Are you in Houston?
Yep, in Houston.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Dope. Well, man, congrats on your new project.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
How you feeling about it? Like, it's already out there. People, I'm sure, are giving you, response.
Yeah, I feel great, man. It's been a great response too, man. It's a little bit different than the rest of the projects I've been putting out in the past. So, you know what I'm saying? It's of course that's always something exciting, but also maybe a little nervous because maybe some people ain't gonna like it or whatever, but I always felt like from the time we recording it and even till now, like, yeah, it's jamming. I'm ready. I've been ready for it to come out, so I'm excited.
Yeah, the project sounds good, man. I was bumping it yesterday, and I know that you collabed with the homie TY and Crash. Super talented people. So I like it, man. The album sounds real dope.
Hey, thank you, man. Yes, sir.
Do you feel like you still, you've been dropping music pretty consistently since the beginning of your career. Do you still feel like you have something to prove, or do you still feel pressure to drop music in this era?
I don't think it's really pressure. The things I had to prove I think are more to myself, and it's more like to maximize it. It's like when I lock in the zone, I try to really lock in, and it takes a little bit to lock in sometimes, because so many distractions of just life going on, and it'll throw you out. But when I lock in the zone, I'm on fire, and I really be going in. So and that's exactly what we did with this. Over at Red Bull Studios, the Red Bull Studio sessions in LA, we went out there just locked in. So, this being the newest thing I recorded and released, it definitely is like, I'm proving to myself continually that, man, one, I still, it still got it. I ain't lost my spunk, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
then on top of that, it's, the love is still there, the passion is still there, then to be able to work with people like TY, Dash, Crash, Kappa, Wild Jones, all on this project. It was a different experience with different people that I usually tend to collaborate with, so it brought something new out of me too.
Right. And I'm sure that's, you already kind of touched on this, but I know how it is, bro. It's like there's so many other things going on. Like, you have your hand in a lot of different businesses. You've been very successful as an entrepreneur. So, like, refocusing on the creative side and, like, I'm sure pushing the limits of your music. Like, what is that process like for you just to get back in that creative zone? Does it take time? Like,
yeah, it do take a little warm up here and there. I'm always doing songs or verses for other people just year round. Even right now, I got 5 verses I got to do for people today, and that's just for random other people. So that's everyday kind of thing I kind of go through. But when it's really time to really lock in and be creative and come up from scratch on something, it's a little bit different. I have like a list of things, kind of topics or just ideas or just words. You're like, man, this is a crazy word. It sound dope as a hook or as, somewhere. I got a list like that. But then when I'm really like locking in, it take the complete focus of, to remove the distractions. And it's like a process getting there. It's like a preseason, regular season, playoffs and then finals kind of, to get there. So first of all, I'll start off by just cutting distractions out a little bit. Then I'll cut them out a little bit more. Then I'll cut them, then when I'm locked in, they are all the way out,
Yeah.
But that's so that I can just kind of get then at the same time, it take a lot of focus where whatever we writing a song about, I might be looking up something on my phone or what's another word for this, just that might fit better. I'm always constantly wordsmithing just to try to, get the words right. And that take a little bit of time. It take a little bit of, because if the wrong word or the right word can make this, make the song or make the hook or whatever, or the verse.
Right.
So it take a little time to be patient with that to make sure you're getting it right. You're not missing out on nothing.
Right. People don't even know, but we got a couple joints in the stash that nobody's heard yet. So I'm excited for those too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Talk about like your other business ventures that you're in right now. Are you still working with Johnny Day?
My boy, TV Johnny. Yep,
TV Johnny.
we still selling grills, Johnny Dang and Company. We still got it popping, man. Yeah, we got our store in Houston, but even online, we do a lot. And what I love about Johnny is the same opportunity he provided for me to let me be a wholesaler where I'm selling grills and jewelry out my trunk or wherever, 20 years ago. He's still doing that with people to this day.
Yeah.
So it's man, shout out to all the wholesalers out there who get their wholesale from us. Shout out to my boy Johnny Dang and Company TV. Johnny, that's my boy. Yes, sir.
Has Johnny put you up on like any Vietnamese cult? Has he taken you out for like pho, like anything?
Yeah, definitely, man. All the time, every day at lunch. but but yeah, man,
Pho every day, huh?
he's always put me on to the different Vietnamese culture. Like there'll be a lot of people from Vietnamese culture from around the country or from Vietnam that'll come through Houston, and it'll always be like, hey, this is such and such. They're from Vietnam. They're the so and so of Vietnam. This is the Beyonce of Vietnam. This is the
Yeah.
whatever. And it's always dope to just get to experience. I didn't get to go to Vietnam yet, man. We always talk about that. We went to Guam, Macau, Hong Kong, a few places over there, and Johnny went on to Hong Kong, but I mean went on to Vietnam, but I came back to Houston. But man, we always talk about it because he goes over there, every few years. I don't know, but
Yeah.
I definitely would love to go. He always talk about, man, I'm gonna bring you to my hood. I'm gonna bring you to my hood.
Yeah, hell yeah, that's dope. Y'all been working together for a minute now too, right?
Yeah, it's been about at least 22 years now since '98.
That's crazy.
My boy, shout out TV Johnny, man, my boy right there.
So business is good with the grills, I'm assuming.
Yeah, things been good, but it's it boils down to the core business values of we're not just trying to make money off somebody. We're trying to build a relationship. We're gonna stand behind the product we sell you, so much so that we know you're gonna be happy with it. Customer service is a big deal to us. And we want people to be customers and come back and bring their kids and let their kids be customers and bring them back and have their grandkids be customers because that's how long we plan on being in business. And we've been there for at least 22 years now. He's been doing it before that without me. So he's been here even longer than that doing it. But just to be able to do that, it's we really try to stand behind our business.
Right, right. So what other businesses are you in at this stage?
I'm trying to buy the Astros, but they cost too much, man. They cost too much, bro. Oh man, man, I got a couple cannabis companies, man. We got Satellite OG, Satellite Supply, and there's a couple other things. We got a beer we do with Eighth Wonder Brewery. We got a beer you can find it in a lot of the grocery stores around Texas. I don't know if we're outside of Texas at the moment, but all throughout Texas you can find it here and there. Eighth Wonder Brewery. We also got a few other things like an air freshener and a couple other products, what I'm saying, that are not just like Paul Wall products, but just general products that's pretty dope. There's a mouth guard collaboration I did with Damage Control Mouth Guards. They're one of the top mouth guard companies for athletic mouth guards like MMA fighters, football players, anybody who wears a mouth guard. We got something that look like grills. So shout out to Damage Control, DC Mouth Guards. And then I got a couple more in the works, man. They just not quite ready yet, man. When the check's cleared, I'm gonna let you know.
Damn, so you got your hand in a lot of things, man. I feel like that's so important because there's a expiration date on a rap career for most.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
won't say for everyone, but like for most, like you're not gonna stay at the top forever. So was there a point in your career where you realized there's so much more opportunity outside of the music? I got to start taking advantage of these.
From day one, man, from before I even had a rap career, that was always on my mind front and center that this could end at any time. Just like any type of dream career like that, like an athlete, they could get injured at any time. Whatever circumstance, the record label you could be signed to go bankrupt and get default and go under or something. Or the song you own is a hit you know, has a sample or something that you don't know about. Next thing you know, you sued and you owe so much money that they won't even allow you to put out music no more. You know, I don't know that happened, but you know, there's a lot of situations that'll slow down a career or stuff, and it's just, you know, there's the inevitable for everyone. There's a shelf life to everybody, even if the shelf life ends in your death.
Yeah.
You know, for some of the legacy type of artists, but for me, I always was appreciative. This was my dream to make music, or even to be a part of hip hop. Even to make music wasn't a option for me, really a reality. I was trying to be a DJ. So to be a DJ was my dream job. That was literally my dream job, to work at 979 The Box in Houston and work on the radio as the DJ. That was my dream. If that would have happened, then you know, it would have been my prayers answered, just like me doing this is my prayers answered. It was just something that I didn't think it could get higher than that, you know, or bigger than that. But, you know, so I always took every opportunity that came from me. And I was just always kind of taught that you got to have multiple hustles. You got to have your hand in multiple things. Because, you know, if you just rely on one job, and, you know, you could have a job where you go clock in at a desk, something like that, but you got to have some side hustles on the side as well. You know, a lot of times people have them jobs where you clock in for the benefits. You know, you might have good benefits for your kids, your family, or yourself, whatever, you know, just it might be for the insurance or just whatever the benefit, or so that you can get a house or something, you know, because if you got cash hustles coming in, and it's a little harder to get a car loan unless you go to my boy King E Greedy. I know he in here somewhere, Cash King. But they man, there's you know, you gotta have a lot of hustles, man.
Yeah.
So that's just how I always was. To you know, selling grills was, it kind of one led to another. You know, me wanting to be a DJ. Okay, it was like, well, how do I be a DJ? At that time, all the music was all on vinyl. There was no CD. There was no, you listen to a CD, but you weren't, as a DJ, you weren't playing music from a CD. You were only playing music from a vinyl. But it's very difficult to get the vinyl. You couldn't just go buy it from the store. The only store that sold it was like Sound Waves or a couple of vintage record shops around Houston. So, and even then, every song that you hear or you want to hear is not on vinyl. You can't always find it. So, okay, well, how would I always wonder, okay, how the DJs got it then? Well, they got it from the record labels. The record labels sent it to them for promotion. So, okay, let me try to work at the record label. How can I get a job at the record label? I'm 14 years old. They ain't hiring no 14-year-olds, but I would see people passing out flyers, and I'd be going to the clubs late at night, sneaking out, I'm way too young to go in a club, but you know, I left my ID at home, man. Let me give you an extra $10, and they let you in the club, kind of thing. And then eventually I'd be out there. I'd see people passing out flyers for my boy 5'4", he was out there for Def Jam. My boy Ace was out there. Lump was out there for all the Universal Cash Money stuff. And Mean Green from No Limit, he worked for the radio station as well. He kind of was one of the facilitators. It was like, you know, they kind of line stuff like, hey, man, why don't y'all get him to pass out? Why don't y'all get, you know, he was a big bro like that. So, you know, I just got in working with 5'4", my boy 5'4", and he used to let me pass out flyers for him. Really, I'm the annoying kid that wouldn't leave him alone. He's like, all right, man, take these flyers and just leave me alone, man. And I go pass them out, and I'd pass them out like, man, like I was passing out free tickets to the lottery. That's what it felt like. Like I felt a lot of pride in passing out these flyers for random artists that I ain't even know half the time because they were up and coming or wasn't even out yet. But that's how I, you know, one thing led to another. I was the one that would bring the vinyl to the DJs, and then that's how I was like, okay, I need a copy, slide myself a copy, and then, you know, bring the DJs a copy. So that's how I started building up my record collection so that I could DJ. And then from there, it was just, you know, having a good song selection of what you want to play. But that was my dream, and that's how, you know, one thing led, you know, me street promotions led to DJing, which a little bit led to rapping, because even with that, I got in the door with Michael Watts and OG Ron C through the Swishahouse through promotions. I was doing street promotions for the Swishahouse, passing out flyers, doing other things. Me and my boy T Ferris used to, you know, distribute a lot of the tapes and CDs back in the day to the stores. So, you know, it was one of those things where we really I just worked my way in, and where there was a long line in front of the Swishahouse. There was a long line to get in as a rapper. Yeah, and it was like Michael Watts and Ron C was like, hey, we're no longer accepting applications, kind of, you know what I'm saying? It was too many. Everybody in the north side of Houston wanted to rap with Swishahouse. So it was like, man, you know, it got to the point where it's like, man, okay, man.
People forget, bro, like, when you started coming up, that was such a huge moment in hip hop. Like that whole scene, the whole Swishahouse scene during that period, like dominated hip hop at the time. And it was like, it was a moment, bro. Like y'all had a big crazy run. I think people forget, but like I was listening to Sitting Sideways, and I feel like just sonically the music still sounds like it hasn't aged. Like, you know, you listen to certain music and you can be like, yeah, this definitely sounds like it's from a past era, but like it sounds like that sound could be reinvented today or still sound relevant today if it came out, you know?
Yeah, man, I got a shout out to my boy Salih who made the beat for Sitting Sideways, Still Tipping. Back
Crazy.
then they didn't want me, now I'm hot, they all on me. What else? He made a few of them from that era for us. But even before he was making them for us, he was doing them for Rec Shop in Houston. So even when we got down with him, he was already to us like a legend, or not even like a legend. He was a legend. He was so iconic for making so many hits that were Houston hits,
Yeah.
or Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma kind of surrounding hits for in the streets or the radio. But all the Big Mo songs, a lot of the ESG, a lot of the, you know, just a lot of the Rec Shop songs that came out of Rec Shop, they were produced by Salih. So, and he had his own his own style, definitely his own sound. So when we got with him, it was like T. Ferris was like, "Hey man, guess who I got? I got some beats from the producer who did all the stuff for Rec Shop." And we like, "What? Oh man, we ready to work. What's up? What it do?" And
Yeah. Crazy.
he was so much ahead of his time with his sounds and everything that he was so different. So to anybody out there that produce, man, let this be encouragement to you. Don't just do what everybody else doing. You got to think outside the box, because sometimes you thinking outside the box, trying new things that somebody else might be like, I don't want to hear this, and I want to hear the same of everything else, because
Right.
that's what most people want to hear, the
Yeah.
same of everything else, more of the same.
Yeah.
But hey, don't be afraid to step outside the box and be yourself, for sure.
Yeah. How do you feel about the music that's out today? Especially, let's talk about Houston first. Like, how do you feel about how Houston has evolved over the years with, you know, artists like Travis Scott now, like all that?
Yeah, man, I feel proud, inspired. I feel excited. It's so many different branches on the Houston hip hop tree. You know, it's not just one lane or one tunnel you have to go through to have a career in Houston. And there's so many artists that came out just experiencing and experimenting in different type of sounds, different flows, different flow patterns, different subject matters, different production styles. You know, the artistic visual styles. And man, when I see these artists like Toby Nwigwe, when I see him really investing into his stage presence and his shows, like, man, we didn't do that. We was, you know, we go out on stage with a DJ and a mic. Hey, you press play, because we used to doing it in hole in the wall clubs where
Yeah.
that's all you could do was just push play, and it, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that's what we was used to. You know, then I see people like Sauce Walker, man, and he just making a whole move, creating a whole movement out of it. You know, shout out to the Sauce Factory. They really coming with it, and they're going beyond, where they're giving that opportunity to other rappers, producers, you know what I'm saying, where they're really forming a movement out of it, where it's not just one artist or one kind of group of artists. They're really expanding to give other people that opportunity. Then you got Max O'Cream, who's just killing. He came his own style. Is just, man, it's one of the things you hear in rap, you know, that's Max O'Cream, man. And you know, he definitely been killing it. Of course, Megan Thee Stallion, she's killing it just on Saturday Night
Yeah.
Live. Oh my God, man,
There's
she's
a lot.
definitely,
There's a lot of
yeah.
Houston artists.
Lizzo, R&B Bloodbath, DJ Chose, B King. You know, even though DJ Chose, B King, or a lot of the people I named, they've done it for years, but they're kind of just now culminating to the success that, you know, that to where they're getting the recognition they kind of deserve. But they've been doing it for years, so it's just motivating, inspiring to know that if this is what you want to do, the work never stops. It's never ever gonna get to a point where, okay, I did enough work, I ain't got to do nothing now. Now, if you want to be successful at this or at anything, you got to always put in that work.
Yeah. Is there Houston artists from this generation that you really, really want to work with?
Yeah, there's definitely a few. Meg Thee Stallion, she's definitely one of them. Cal Wayne is one of my favorite. Although I've worked with him on several times, several occasions. Cal Wayne is probably one of my favorite, just because he's like, he speak that street gospel where he just really is a voice for the streets in his neighborhood, his area where he's from. It's somebody I listen to, and I definitely like working with him. But there's so many. Any of the people I name, man, I'd love to work with any one of them. Don Tolliver, Travis Scott. Of course, I worked with Travis in the past. He put me on his first one, which was still crazy to think. That's like Kanye put me on Drive Slow, and Travis put me on
Yeah.
Dance on the Moon. I'm like, man, bet. Yep, I'm ready for that.
Yeah, yeah. That's dope. That's dope. Um, so let's talk about your new project, Subculture. What was like the motivation or inspiration going into this project? What were the things that you wanted to talk about and focus on for the project?
Well, the title came just from representing for the underground, the subculture. The culture is front and center mainstream everywhere now. But I've always been somebody to represent, I came from the underground. I always try to keep it, true to the underground as well. So I had to represent that subculture. Being able to put this project out with Red Bull Music, it allowed me different opportunities that I wouldn't have had if it was just me myself. One, the type of people I was working with, so their sounds, their perspective, it brought something new. And they came in completely when we're in the Red Bull studio sessions. All the people there, Crash, Dash, Kappa, Ty, Wild Jones, we're all in there just open-minded. We all got different ideas we throwing out there, but it was really to do power wall music, not to change me or do anything that ain't, up my alley or from my
Yeah,
lane, but do, all the people I named too, they're a little bit younger than me too. So
yeah,
they have a different perspective than me, who was in, of the age group when I was making it, when it came out. They're a little bit younger. So they
yeah,
got a fresh perspective too, and we just came in and started throwing spaghetti at the wall, throwing ideas out there. I got this idea for this. Hey, I got this idea for this. What you think about that? What you think about that? And we just had multiple rooms going. And the whole idea when we were making it was really just to stay true to the underground, but give it a crisp, new kind of perspective, kind of maybe not necessarily a outside perspective, me working with them, but just a different perspective. And we just all locked in, man, and we were just focused, locked in, ready to go. And it came out, man. I mean, the type of music we were doing too is like, man, okay, we were only supposed to do three or four songs, 5 songs most, and we got those done quick.
yeah.
And we're like, okay, well, what are we gonna do for the next 4 days? You know what I'm saying? Well, let's just keep going. Let's make a few more. And we just kept going.
So did
And
y'all have like a lot of cuts and then you trimmed it down to what the album is now?
yeah, we had a few more. Matter of fact, too. We might have had close to 20.
Mm.
We trimmed it down to
In those
11.
4 days?
Yeah, well, for the most part, it was about a week and a half, and then right toward the end, it was like, hey man, that's right when COVID started coming around. It was like, hey, they thinking it might be some COVID, and then when we flying home, it's like, okay, the fears of a lockdown. When I flew home, it was like, okay, it might be a lockdown, but it was when we flew out there to get started, it was no COVID. It was just,
Yeah.
hey, we working, and then while we're there, the thing started popping up. And then and actually when I went home, there was a few songs that were unfinished that I kind of like, finished my vocals or tighten them up at home. But for the most part, it was about a week and a half, maybe like 10 days or so of just nonstop, locked in, focus, laser focused.
Yeah. Yeah. So since COVID, man, so that must have been what, in February?
Yep, that's
February.
right. Yep.
Yeah, that's right before. Yeah, that's right before it happened. So since then, man, like what have you been doing? Just locked down in the house? Like you got a lot of shit going on, so you're not
Yeah.
moving around?
Yeah, man. I've been in this studio, getting it in.
Yeah.
Been in the studio, just at work, man. Just working on the next one, man. I've been thinking about working on People's Champ Part 2. So,
Oh,
I don't know. I've been kind of
I got to
laying.
get one on that, man. If you
Yeah, my
start
boy. Yes,
working,
sir. Yes, sir. Yeah,
got
man.
I Got you.
Yeah, that's why I had to sneak it out there. I had to throw it out there, man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's
Yeah,
going down. We definitely got to get it in on that.
for sure, for sure. Well, shit, man. Congrats on the project. Congrats on the success. You're a legend, bro. I just remember, you know, like being in middle school, high school, listening to your music and like the whole Swishahouse movement. Like it was just, it was like one of my earliest exposures to like really wanting to start make music. So, you know, I'm a fan, bro. I'm a fan for life.
Yes, sir. Much love, bro. Much love.